Welcome back to Tales by WZ. In today's story, a husband comes home to find his wife moved her sister into his house without asking, and it ends with theft, an ultimatum, and a divorce. As you listen, notice the moment where you would have drawn the line. My wife said, "If she goes, I go." I replied, "Then pack with her." Then I pulled cash receipts from the trash, gave a deadline, packed 2 cars of their stuff, and let her family call me cold while the hearing exposed a bigger theft. I'm 35, my wife is 32. I own a 3-bedroom house I bought 5 years ago before I ever met her. We got married 2 years ago, nothing flashy. A normal wedding, normal life. She moved into my place because her lease was ending and it made sense. For a while it was decent. We both worked full-time. We split bills based on income. Things felt fair. Calm, even. Then, about 3 months ago, I came home on a Thursday and found her sister sitting on my couch like she lived there. 2 massive suitcases were parked in the hallway. My wife was in the kitchen making dinner, acting like this was just another normal evening. I stood there for a second, trying to make my brain catch up. "Hey babe," I said carefully, "what's going on?" "Oh," she said, stirring pasta. "My sister needed a place to stay for a bit. Work situation got rough. She lost her apartment. I told her she could crash here." I blinked. "You told her without asking me." My wife shrugged like I was being dramatic. "It's temporary. Family stays together, right?" Her sister smirked from the couch, scrolling through her phone. She didn't even look up. "Thanks for letting me stay, brother-in-law," she said, like she was doing me a favor. Right there, I felt something shift, because that wasn't gratitude. That was entitlement with a smile. I pulled my wife into our bedroom. "We need to talk about this." She looked annoyed, like I was interrupting her night. "What's there to talk about? She's my sister. She needs help." "I get that," I said, "but this is our home. You can't move someone in without discussing it with me first." "So you're saying my family isn't welcome here?" Her voice sharpened fast, defensive, accusing. "That's not what I said. I'm saying major decisions require both of us agreeing." "Well, she's already here," she said and walked back to the kitchen. That already did a lot of heavy lifting. This is one of those moments people overlook because it feels easier to keep the peace. But already is how boundaries get erased. Her sister was 28, between jobs, of course, and apparently she'd been evicted for not paying rent. My wife didn't mention that part until I asked 3 days later. It wasn't her fault, my wife insisted. Her roommate was awful, sure. The roommate made her not pay rent. I didn't love it, but I tried to be the bigger person. I said, 2 weeks max. She'd help with groceries and utilities. She'd look for work. She'd respect our space. Those were simple rules. They lasted about 10 minutes. Week 1, she ate our food like it was a free buffet, never replaced anything. Complained the guest room was small. Asked if we had better Wi-Fi because her shows were lagging. Week 2, still no job, no interviews, no applications I could see. She started leaving dirty dishes everywhere. Borrowed my wife's car without asking and returned it on empty. Week 3, I reminded my wife about our 2-week agreement. "She's trying," my wife said. "The job market is tough right now, just give her more time." "How much more time?" "I don't know," she snapped. "Stop being so rigid about everything." Week 4, I found her sister wearing my wife's expensive jewelry. Family heirloom stuff from her grandmother. When I brought it up, my wife got mad at me for making a big deal out of nothing. Week 6, I started keeping my wallet in my car, because I swear the cash in it kept shrinking. Week 8, I was now the bad guy for wanting my own house back. And that's when the real problem showed itself. It wasn't just the sister. It was my wife making excuses for her every step of the way. Then the theft happened. I kept a small cash reserve in my home office. Emergency money. About $3,200 in an envelope in my desk drawer. Not the smartest place to keep cash, but it was my house, my office, and the drawer was in a room I kept closed. I'd been adding to it for over a year. 200 here, 300 there, side work, bonuses. Extra cash. Last Tuesday I went to add another $150. The envelope was gone, completely gone. I tore my office apart, checked every drawer, every folder, every corner, nothing. I went to my wife. "Did you move anything from my desk?" She looked offended. "No, why would I go through your desk?" The money I keep in there is missing, all of it. She paused. How much? 3,200. She stared like she wanted to act shocked, but her face didn't match the words. That's a lot to keep lying around. It was in my locked office in my house. We both knew the truth. The only other person with access was her sister. I walked into the living room where her sister was watching reality TV and eating out of a family-sized bag of chips I bought the day before. Hey, I said, I need to talk to you about something. She didn't look away from the TV. What? There was money in my office. It's gone. Do you know anything about that? Now she looked at me. Are you seriously accusing me of stealing? I'm asking if you know anything about it. Wow, she said, standing up like she was in a courtroom drama. Unbelievable. No, I didn't touch your precious money. My wife walked in. What's going on? He's accusing me of being a thief, her sister said. I asked a question, I said. My wife turned on me instantly. You can't just accuse people like that. The money was there Friday. Today it's gone. Only 3 people live here. Maybe you miscounted, my wife said, or forgot where you put it. I didn't miscount $3,000. Her sister stormed to the guest room and slammed the door. My wife looked at me like I'd kicked a puppy. That was incredibly rude. She stole from me. You don't know that. Who else would it be? I don't know, my wife snapped, but you can't throw accusations around without proof. Proof. Right. Because people who live off other people are known for leaving clean evidence trails. The next morning, Friday, I was leaving for work and noticed the trash can by the curb was unusually full, which was odd because pickup was Thursday and it had just been emptied. I looked inside. Target bags, Best Buy bag, Sephora. Receipts dated Wednesday and Thursday. Total spent $847. Clothes, makeup, a tablet, fancy headphones, cash purchases. I took photos of every receipt, every line. Then I checked our credit cards, nothing unusual, so it was cash. A broke woman had almost $900 in cash for shopping right after my cash disappeared. I brought the photos inside and waited for my wife to get home. When she walked in, I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I just showed her the pictures. These are your sister's receipts, I said. $847, all cash, bought right after my money disappeared. My wife went pale. Maybe she had savings, she said weakly. The same sister who couldn't afford rent, who's been here for free for 2 months, who suddenly has shopping money right when $3,200 goes missing from my office. My wife tried again. It could be a coincidence. I looked at her. Stop, just stop. You know what this is. She sat down on the couch and for a full minute she didn't say anything. Then she asked, what do you want me to do? She leaves today. Where's she going to go? Not my problem anymore. She stole from me. You don't know that for sure. The receipts are pretty clear. She's my sister, my wife said, tears building, and I'm your wife. I'm your husband, I said, the one who owns this house, the one she robbed. My wife started crying like I was the one being unfair. She has nowhere to go. She had somewhere to go before she got evicted. She can figure it out again. You're really going to put her on the street. She really stole $3,200 from me. Yeah, I said, she's leaving. That's the thing about boundaries. People call you cruel the moment you stop letting them benefit from you. That night my wife confronted her sister. Did you take money from his office? She asked, voice shaking. No, her sister said. I told you I didn't. I held up my phone. Then explain these. Her sister's face went red. I had some money saved up, she snapped. That's not your business. You've been mooching off us for 2 months claiming you're broke, my wife said. Now you suddenly have shopping money. Maybe I got a job, her sister muttered. Where? I asked. Silence. I pointed toward the hallway. You stole from me. Pack your stuff. Get out. Her sister straightened up. You can't kick me out. I have tenant rights. I laughed because it was ridiculous. You're not a tenant. You don't pay rent. Your name isn't on anything. You're a guest who overstayed. My wife's sister looked at my wife. Are you going to let him do this? My wife looked torn, and then she said the sentence that ended our marriage. If she goes, I go. The room went dead quiet. I stared at my wife. What? You heard me, she said, chin up like she was proud of it. She's my family. If you're kicking her out, I'm leaving too. Family stays together. She stole from me. You don't know that for sure, my wife said like she was reading from a script. It could be explained. How? I said. Please explain it. I don't know, she said, but I'm not abandoning my sister. Her sister smirked behind her like she'd won. That smirk told me everything, so I nodded once. Okay. My wife looked confused for a second, like she expected me to fold. Then I said, calm as anything, let me help you pack. What? My wife said. You said if she goes, you go. She's going, so pack. My wife's eyes widened. You're not even going to try to work this out. I looked at her. You just chose a thief over your husband. What's there to work out? Don't make me choose, she said, voice shaking now. You already did. I wasn't bluffing. I went to the garage, pulled out suitcases, and started packing my wife's things. Methodical, calm, no yelling, no drama. My wife followed me around like she couldn't believe it was real. Wait, stop, let's talk about this. There's nothing to talk about, I said, folding another shirt. You made your choice. I didn't think you'd actually. What? Call your bluff. You said you'd leave. I'm just making it easier. Her sister started getting nervous now. This wasn't going how she expected. Babe, please, my wife said. Can we just take a breath? I'm calm, I said. You said family stays together, so go stay together somewhere else. This is insane, she said. What's insane is defending someone who stole from us, I said, and kept packing. She kept repeating the same line. You don't have real proof. I stopped and looked her in the eyes. Your sister was broke. She got evicted. She's been living here for free. Then my $3,200 disappears from a locked drawer, and 3 days later she has $847 in cash receipts for luxury shopping. I let that sit. What part of that makes sense? She said she had savings, my wife whispered. And you believe her, I asked. You believe her more than you believe me. Silence. That was my answer. It took 3 hours. 3 hours of my wife crying, bargaining, getting angry, then crying again. Her sister mostly stayed in the guest room, hoping the storm would pass. By 9:00 p.m., everything was packed. 2 cars full of suitcases and boxes. At the door, my wife tried one last time. Last chance, she said. If I leave, we're done. I know, I said. You're really willing to end our marriage over this. I stared at her. You're really willing to end our marriage over a thief. Stop calling her that, she snapped. Stop defending her, I said. Tell her to admit what she did. Silence again. I nodded. That's what I thought. They left. Both cars pulled out of the driveway at 9:47 p.m. And the house went quiet, really quiet. And I'm not proud of this part, but I felt relief first, not sadness, relief. It was the most peace I'd felt in 2 months. The next morning, the calls started. First, my mother-in-law. How could you throw them out like that? My daughter is devastated. Your daughter chose to leave, I said. She gave herself an ultimatum. I gave her a simple choice, I said. Me or the sister who stole from me. She chose the sister. You don't know she stole anything, she snapped. The evidence is pretty clear. Evidence, she scoffed. You sound like a cop. She's family. And I was family too, I said, past tense. She hung up on me, then her brother called, then her aunt, then 2 cousins, all saying I was heartless, cruel, destroying the family over money. Not one of them asked about the theft, not one. My wife started texting. Can we please talk? I miss you. This is stupid. Just let her apologize and we can move on. I can't believe you're doing this. I didn't respond. Then Wednesday I got served divorce papers. She filed citing irreconcilable differences and abandonment, which was rich considering she left. She asked for half the house value alimony, her car, and half my 401k. I called a lawyer that afternoon, a guy named Thompson. He read the papers and looked at me. House was yours before marriage. Yeah, I said. Bought it 5 years ago, married too. He nodded. That helps. Depending on the state, the base asset is protected. Appreciation during the marriage might be split, but we can fight the rest. What about abandonment? I asked. She left voluntarily, he said. And if we can show the sister stole from you, the optics get worse for her. I paid a $5,000 retainer, worth every penny. Then things got uglier. Thursday night, someone egged my house. My Ring camera caught it. 2 figures hard to identify, but one had the build of the sister. I filed a police report. The cops sounded bored. Domestic situation, they said. Best handled through divorce proceedings. So property damage is just part of marriage drama now. Friday, my wife showed up at my work. She looked exhausted, puffy eyes, like she hadn't slept. "Can we please talk?" she asked. Against my better judgment, I agreed to coffee across the street. "I hate how this happened," she said. "I miss you, I miss our life." "You walked away from our life," I said. "You forced me to choose," she said. "Your sister stole from me. That wasn't a choice, that was consequences." "She says she didn't do it," my wife said, "and the receipts. She says she'd been saving money from before, from her last job. The job she lost 3 months ago," I said, "that you told me left her broke." My wife looked down at her coffee. "I don't know what to believe." "Believe the evidence," I said. "Believe the pattern." Then she admitted something that told me she was already in damage control mode. "The divorce papers," she said. "I didn't want to do that. My mom insisted. She got me the lawyer. She said I needed to protect myself." "Protect yourself from what?" I asked. "I'm not the one who did anything wrong." "You kicked us out," she said. "I kicked out a thief," I said, "and the person defending the thief." "Stop calling her that," she hissed. People started staring. I lowered my voice. "You made your choice, now you're dealing with the consequences." "Please," she said, "just let her apologize, let us come back, we can work this out." "No," I said, "just like that," she whispered. "Yes," I said, "just like that." I walked out and went back to work. Saturday morning, my lawyer called. "They're playing dirty," he said. Her lawyer filed a motion for temporary exclusive use of the marital home, claiming I forced her out through emotional abuse and coercion. "That's insane," I said. "That's litigation," he said. "They're going to paint you as controlling and abusive. Be ready." Then her family launched a social media campaign. Vague posts about standing with survivors, about family being there when spouses fail you. Her mom posted a long rant about how modern men can't handle strong women with strong family bonds. My brother commented on one post, "Interesting how none of these mention the theft that started this." He got blocked immediately. Then her sister posted her own story online. When your brother-in-law accuses you of something you didn't do and ruins your sister's marriage over it, sympathy poured in. Again, not one person asked for my side. Then I got a call from a detective. Her sister filed a police report claiming I verbally threatened her before kicking her out. "Did you threaten her?" he asked. "No," I said. "I told her to leave because she stole from me." "She claims you said you'd make her regret it if she didn't leave immediately." "That's a lie," he sighed. "It's your word against hers. These domestic situations get messy." Of course. Then the court date came. The temporary exclusive use hearing was brutal. Her lawyer stood up and said, "Your Honor, my client was forced from her marital home after her husband issued an ultimatum." Her sister, staying during a housing crisis, was accused without evidence of theft. When my client defended her sister's right to due process, her husband began systematically removing her belongings. I leaned toward my lawyer. "That's not what happened." "Let him finish," Thompson whispered. Then the lawyer added, "My client has been subjected to emotional abuse and financial control. She has nowhere else to go while her husband sits comfortably in a home that appreciated significantly during the marriage. We request temporary exclusive use." Thompson stood. "Your Honor, the facts are different. The defendant purchased this home 5 years before the marriage. The plaintiff moved her sister into the home without the defendant's consent. The sister stayed over 2 months, contributed nothing, and household conditions deteriorated." He presented the receipts, the photos, the timeline. When $3,200 in cash went missing from a locked office, followed by nearly $1,000 in cash purchases by the sister, the defendant removed the guest. The plaintiff then gave an ultimatum. If the sister goes, she goes. She chose to leave voluntarily. The judge reviewed everything, then looked at my wife. "Mrs. Last Name, you left the home voluntarily." "He forced me to choose," my wife said. "But you did choose to leave," the judge said. "He was kicking out my sister who allegedly stole from him." The judge looked down at the receipts again. "The timing of these purchases is suspect," he said. "The defendant has reasonable cause, motion denied. The defendant retains use of his home." My wife looked devastated. Her mother looked furious. Outside the courthouse, her mom confronted me. "You satisfied? You humiliated her in there." "I protected what's mine," I said. "That house is half hers," she snapped. "No," I said. "It was mine before we married." "We'll see what the judge says," she said, and then she spit at my feet. My lawyer saw it. "Want to file charges?" he asked. "No," I said. "Let's just finish the divorce." 6 weeks later, the divorce dragged on. My wife's lawyer fought for half the house value, arguing she deserved equity because she contributed. My lawyer argued the house was mine before marriage, and she lived there 2 years, then left voluntarily defending someone who stole from us. Alimony got denied quickly. My wife was employed full-time and chose to leave. The 401k got split. I lost about $18,000. It sucked, but it was standard for a short marriage. The house was the ugly part. They appraised it at $390,000. I bought it for $245,000. They argued she deserved half the total appreciation, about $72,500. My lawyer argued the appreciation during the marriage was closer to $45,000, so her share should be about $22,500. We settled at $35,000. Not ideal, but better than $72,500. I had to refinance to pay her out. Then the real consequences hit, and they didn't hit me. My wife called me for the first time in over a month. "Can we talk?" she asked. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet. She looked rough, tired, like the reality finally caught up. "My mom was cleaning the guest room," she said. "She found receipts, lots of them." She slid an envelope across the table. Inside were more receipts, cash purchases, different dates, different stores, going back weeks before my money went missing. "She's been stealing from my mom too," my wife said, voice hollow. Her mom kept emergency cash in her dresser. $400 disappeared last month. The sister bought a new phone and a designer purse that same week. My wife swallowed. "You were right," she said. "She did take your money. She took mine too. I had cash go missing. I thought I'd spent it. I don't know what I thought." I didn't say anything. She kept going. "I chose her over you. I defended her when you were right. I threw away our marriage for someone who's been lying to all of us." I stared at her. "What do you want me to say?" She flinched. I know we can't fix it. I just needed you to know that I know. I'm sorry." "Apology noted," I said. She looked hurt. "God, you're cold." "No," I said. "I'm done. There's a difference." She started crying. "I miss you. I miss our life. I miss the house and movie nights and everything." "You should have thought about that before you chose a thief over your husband," I said. "She's my sister," she whispered. "And I was your husband," I said, past tense. Then she told me her mom kicked the sister out 3 days earlier. The sister was couch surfing now, burning bridges fast, and my wife, on one income, couldn't support them both. I felt nothing. "That's unfortunate," I said. "You really don't care?" she asked. "Should I?" I said. "She stole from me, nearly cost me my house, and helped destroy my marriage." "Because you're human," she said. "I'm human with boundaries," I said. "You crossed them too. Now you deal with the consequences." She looked at me like she didn't know me anymore. Maybe she didn't. Or maybe she finally saw me clearly, without the pressure to keep everyone comfortable. "The divorce will be final in 2 weeks," I said. "After that, please don't contact me again unless it's legally necessary." "Just like that," she whispered. "It meant something," I said, past tense. "You ended it when you chose her over me." I left her sitting there and didn't look back. The divorce finalized on a Thursday. Judge signed everything. We split what needed splitting. I kept the house minus the $35,000 payout. She kept her car. 401k split. No alimony, no kids. Clean break legally. Emotionally, it took longer, but the direction was clear. Her lawyer tried one last push for emotional distress money. My lawyer shut it down with the receipts and the facts. The judge wasn't interested in drama, finalized everything in under an hour. I walked out feeling lighter, not happy exactly, just lighter. A month later, the house is mine again. Completely mine. I repainted the guest room. Got rid of the couch her sister sat on. New sheets, new towels, no traces. The silence isn't lonely, it's peaceful. I can leave my wallet on the counter. I can keep cash in my office without worrying. I can come home to exactly what I left that morning. Work is going well. I got a promotion. I'm using the extra money to fix up the house. New deck. Updated kitchen, making it mine again fully. I heard my ex is struggling financially. Single life on one income is rough when you're used to a comfortable split. She downgraded to a studio. Her sister burned through every friend's couch and ended up moving 2 states away to live with their dad. Their mom still hates me. I saw her at the grocery store and she turned around and walked the other way. Fine by me. My ex texted twice after the divorce. First, I hope you're happy now. I didn't respond. Second, I really messed up, didn't I? I blocked her. Some people don't want closure, they want you to say it's okay, to validate their choices. I don't owe her that. The house is quiet at night. No drama. No stolen money. No ultimatums. No extra person in my space draining everything around them. Just me, my coffee, and peace. They warned me I'd regret the silence. I don't. It isn't empty, it's bliss. Lesson 1. Family stays together is not a free pass to ignore your partner's boundaries. Lesson 2. If someone moves a person into your home without asking, the respect problem is already there. Lesson 3. When theft happens, denial and excuses are a choice, and you're allowed to respond to that choice. Lesson 4. Ultimatums reveal priorities. Believe them the first time. Lesson 5. Peace can feel weird after chaos, but that doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. So what would you have done if your spouse moved someone in without asking and that person started taking advantage? And if your partner said, "If she goes, I go," would you fight for the marriage, or would you help them pack like he did?